Yeah, so position. Yeah, and we're live again with 8 running The Lion King. Take it away.
Hello, I am 8. I run The Lion King for the Sega Genesis, and I am excited to be here to show this run off because it is an interesting run. My commentator is Nicole, and she has a couple of things she would like to say about the game.
Hello, I am Nicole Goodnight, commentating for 8 on her Lion King Any Percent Genesis run. This game was released in 1994 alongside of the movie. It's a deceptively difficult platformer, and there's a lot of different things in the game that are going to be showcased today, and we're going to try to explain to each one of them so that you know what's going on. 8's going to go over the countdown and the timing for that, so I'll send it back to her.
All right, when this loads up, I will just count myself down. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
It starts.
So we start off in the Pride Lands, which is actually a very difficult level. This level itself has a lot of different tricks. Every single movement that 8 makes is very deliberate. It's very precise, everything she does. So what she just did was she clipped through that platform to go ahead and have to skip running around it. That is an extraordinarily hard.
This jump sucks, by the way. This jump is not my favorite. I'm just gonna throw myself at it a little bit more. Forever, I guess. There we go.
So that is another pixel perfect jump. It's probably 80+% of runs are lost to that immediately. And you'll see 8 jump to the left or far right side. That's to get the hyena to spawn fast. Then we're on to level 2. This is by far the hardest level. If you played this as a kid, you were probably stuck here. That was actually very intentional. So when Disney released this game, this was in the times of Blockbuster. They wanted to make the game as hard as possible so that you couldn't beat it in just one rental period. This is why this level exists. And again, with this, you'll see 8 make very specific jumps. Actually, the way she went across the first set of giraffes was very, very precise. One wrong move and you end up in the water. And if you delay a little too long, the giraffe tilts its head back.
Shit. You don't want to roll there. But it's fine.
Even still, jumping up those hippos is also very precise. Hanging takes a long time, so to be able to climb up them quickly it's very difficult. It's very difficult. There's also a glitch with this ostrich where the game will soft lock. That did not happen, thankfully, but it is something that the Genesis can throw you. You'll notice Simba didn't splat onto the ground there. That's because 8 input a precise input on the previous section where the ostrich was. If you don't put that in, Simba splats to the ground and it takes an extra second. Log jump is also something that was very hard as a kid, very precise as well, and she flew right across those. She's about to fall on a platform, which is super precise. If you fall on the ground, you again splat and lose about a second. She went ahead and got that all perfectly. and we're on to the elephant graveyard, which is an extremely fun but very precise. Like most of this game, every move that she does is very deliberate. She has to jump a certain height over the hyenas, over the vultures, roll through certain things, so she'll be showing. Getting that vulture to not fly when you roll into it is fantastic, and being able to roll through that second vulture without it jumping up or damaging you is pretty. That jump that she made to the top of that ledge is one of the harder ones to get in a speed setting somehow. That saves about 7 seconds, so it's very, very important to get it, and she got it easy.
Ooh. Oops. I recovered that pretty well. Sometimes the vultures in this game like to meme you.
They do. That single jump 8 just did was, again, deliberate. That's to go ahead and stack those hyenas. That's actually 2 hyenas.
Okay, we're out of the first part of the game, effectively. The next levels, levels 5 through 8, are what I like to call the gauntlet, because it's, in my opinion, the hardest part of the run. There are a ridiculous amount of ridiculously precise, like input precise, frame perfect even, clips throughout the next few levels.
Yep, a lot of people say that the next levels are where the run actually begins. And it's important to note with this game, jumping isn't as simple as jumping. So the longer you hold jump, the higher you. So there's so many different heights that you can go, and these clips that are in the next few levels, like Kate was saying, are precise to the fact that you have to not only jump in the right place, you have to hold that button exactly the right time. So it's a very precise set of levels coming up. And this level is one of the levels that has RNG come into play. These boulders that fall from the sky, they can hit you, and if they hit you while you're on one of those runs, they can completely mess you up. In the case of what just happened, she used the boulder to damage boost up onto that platform so she didn't have to hang. Save some.
Alright, this is fine. So I'm just gonna die here and redo this level. That was kind of unfortunate. Wow, this is a pretty bad exile, I'd say. Okay, I'm just gonna grab that just in case.
So that clip 8 just got was
I'm
very,
gonna die
very
here.
pixel perfect, and she got it immediately, which is great.
That's why I grabbed the checkpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to try to get exile too. And I'm probably not gonna get it, that's fine. I'll just keep going. It's extremely precise. Alright, wow. That was bad RNG, that was not my fault.
Yep, this level is absolutely awful with RNG. That takes us into Hakuna Matata. There's a lot of fun things about this level. I'll be showing them off to you. part coming up is very precise, so I'm actually going to go quiet and let her do that. That was a very smooth climb. I don't know if you're anything like me, but that's another area that as a kid was extremely hard to progress. This brings us to the monkey. Don't remember him in the movie. He definitely wasn't there. They rushed the game just a little bit, but this boss is very hard. He looks easy, but there's a lot of little things. If you jump at him a second too early or too late, he'll knock you off. So what 8's doing is she's jumping on him really before he gets the chance to even do anything.
Ooh, okay. So, right. I have to redo this whole level now.
Again, that was another absolutely gorgeous waterfall.
I'm just gonna be super duper careful here. I can't, I literally am probably gonna die again. Right, so we get to see the waterfall again.
Yeah, that monkey is super difficult.
Holy shit. I need to calm down. I'm sorry.
And 8 runs to the end there because that skips a certain amount of frame. It's one of those little things that the speedruns throws in at you that's you wouldn't realize that it's intentional, but it absolutely is. Now we're Adult Simba. So Adult Simba gets a completely different set of moves. So he still has his roar and he has his swipe, but he gets flips and things like that. It's a lot to handle, and he is also very heavy feeling. So Adult Simba is a little bit of a pain to control. It's going to do 3 different cheetah skips. So basically, in the normal version of this, Rafiki comes out after about, I want to say it's 8 cheetahs, 6 cheetahs, and that's just not something you have time for in the speedrun. So what she did was she roared when she saw him come out a certain amount of way, and then flipped it, and that allowed her to completely skip all of that. You'll notice she's killing the cheetah here. That's so that at the top of this one, she can do the same thing. Otherwise, she would have had to wait for the cheetah to paint, which can take anywhere between 1 and 8 hits. It can kill you. You'll see her swiping those ledges. That's so she can jump up on them without hanging. And that is possibly one of the hardest skips in the entire game. That is boulder skip, and it's extremely precise down to the amount that you jump, how far you jump. You have to slash a certain way, 2 different directions. It's a lot. So she got it, and that's absolutely amazing. Now we're on to level 8. This level sucked as a kid, right? But we're gonna let you in on a little secret. You can skip the entire level. Doing that cheetah flip takes her to the very end of the auto-scroller, and all she has to do is wait while the rocks fall and dodge. This is probably one of the most challenging full levels too, so if you did get to this level as a kid, you would know you had to go on platforms that went on lava, and on those platforms lava would drip, there would be cheetahs, you'd have to run through little mazes and do things like that. So that skip is not only great because it saves a lot of time, but it also saves you from having to do a lot of that stuff that was very difficult. You see she waited a minute before jumping onto that platform. That's because if you get hit with those platforms that are falling, you immediately... We're on to level 9. This is more like a beat 'em up stage, and it's a lot different from all the other levels. So you'll see that every time she jumps on a hyena and swipes it, it's dying in one animation. That's because she's actually doing 5 attacks and not just... So you'll see that with the hyenas, and that's pretty hard to get. It's very fast input. It's definitely not nearly as easy as it even looks. It's a very hard thing to get. Especially every hyena so far has been that, which is fantastic. She's about to do a trick here called 3-stack. You'll see she waits a moment and all 3 hyenas stack up. This makes it easier to handle them. And they're saying centralized to her as opposed to running across the stage.
Yeah, there's no checkpoints in this level, so if you die, you die.
And that hyena's notorious for jumping early and pulling exactly what you just...
Oh my god. Yeah, admittedly I'm still pretty tilted from Hakuna, but I'm trying to finish out the run, you know? I just can't seem to do this right now.
She came back and showed that hyena what for. do that, she had to swipe at an exact moment while climbing up that ledge to get that hyena to die. It's very difficult. You'll see she stacked again so she could get all 3 in a row. Again, this keeps them kind of synced, and you can see their movements are not going too far from Simba. Otherwise, they can just run. I am going to go quiet for this level. Just know that there are multiple precise jumps to avoid fire, precise ways to jump on Scar, and
Oh,
multiple
you can talk, dude.
very
It's
hard
totally
things to
fine.
get. Oh. So you'll see 8 did a small jump onto that platform before the hyena. That was to avoid triggering a fire. Fire can cause lag. Lag can cause Simba to not jump as far because this game likes to do that. She swipes over those 2 hyenas, and that's so that she can get the distance to go over them both. That swipe she just did on Scar, it looked like it only hit him once. In fact, it took away 50 of his HP. He has 200 HP on this platform. So you'll notice she only had to do 3 additional attacks instead of 4, even though the first one didn't look like a full attack. She swipes to get up onto that second rock to save some time with jumping. And she swiped to get up there, and that is an extremely hard jump that she got with fire already on that one platform, so that was fantastic. Now all she has to do is 4 different swipes on Scar of 5 sets each, and then
There we
he'll
go.
be
That's
killed.
time.
So your time was 20 minutes and 7 seconds.
Oh, jeez. I mean, that was like the worst luck I've ever had in a run, pretty much, so I'm sorry for going over estimate.
It's still fine, it's still fine.
Alright, well, thank you for having me, and thank you, Nicole, for doing commentary.
Of course.
Yeah, and the
Thank you
chat is
for having me.
Yeah, so I totally forgot to update my intermission screen, so if you got anything else to say while I do that, you are free to do. Otherwise, if you didn't know about us, voice crack. If you didn't know about us, we are No Glitches Allowed, currently hosting No Holidays Allowed, where we currently are raising funds for Go Rescue, which is a non-profit organization helping animals getting off the street, get treatment, and get into new good homes. And if you want to support such a cause, you can do so with the exclamation mark donate. It's also worth to note that all donations can be used towards incentives, which you can find with the command exclamation mark incentives. And yeah, so if you check those both out, you use those commands straight in the chat, and we will be right back with Kingdom Hearts Final Remix run by 1056. Stay tuned. Kingdom Hearts a bit low, maybe.
Yeah, I can turn that up.
Boys. They can turn it up a bit.
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay, how's that? Hold on, let it get into the Steam. Okay, there we go.
That's a bit better.
Okay.
We could probably work with that.
If that's
Didn't
good
have
for
any
you.
incentives or anything.
I didn't have any incentives or anything like that, so
Battletoads had the next.
just CL World. Pull up some safety notes. Just